What is up, everyone? Welcome to, I believe, episode 16 or 17 of the Massive Damage podcast. I don't even know where we're at. Something like that. But welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about the August update for Gigantic, the first major patch after launch. And we're going to touch on some other topics surrounding the update and some other things and some other thoughts that we had concerning the game state right now, and stuff like that. So, joining me as always is Mr. Rakychu. How are you doing on this fine Thursday evening?
Thursday evening. I woke up about 4 hours ago. Yep. Yeah, I'm doing alright. How are you doing?
I am doing quite alright. I just finished some games. Shit. So, we're using Discord right now, so instead of Skype. So, excuse me for any technical difficulties that happened, because I already messed it up right there. So, yeah, maybe I should set it up a little differently so you're not full screen, but like in a screen in Discord, so I don't accidentally do that and all when I on the alt tab and shit. So, because I am doing things on the side right now. Guys, how do you like the clap? I really like the clap of Oru.
Clap is good.
The clap is good. Like
the clap is good, but easy to iframe.
Yeah, you can clap your enemies quite literally now. But yeah, so we have a couple of topics.
Just a couple.
Just a couple, a little bit. So we had a new patch for Gigantic yesterday, and it was kind of a big one, because the player base was slowly dwindling after launch, and we all watched how the player numbers on the Steam database and all the Steam tracker sites slowly dwindled and slowly went down. Yeah, nice.
At least it was slow and not like a sudden drop, I guess.
Yeah,
but
it was very slowly over like 4 weeks or something. We dropped from like 8K plus to like 2K.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't think we've even started to go up even.
No, I don't even. I haven't really looked at the stats after the patch now, but yeah, I don't really think.
Yeah, we're still around 2K at the moment.
Ouch, that's quite painful. But oh well, we got a new patch, and it was much needed to get some new content in. We got a new hero. Welcome to the stream glitch effect. We just started. But yeah, so let's get right into it with like the biggest subject, the new hero, Oru.
Yes, Oru, the Joker card throwing DPS support hybrid. Yeah, as I like to call it.
Joker card throwing. So I, for one, I love his design. I know it's kind of a controversial subject as well. Some people just don't like them at all. Yeah, but I really like his design. It's like super goofy. It's just a fucking floating ball with like stars and shit. So I love it.
Yeah, I think like it's been like very mixed opinions on it. Like some people are like going, "Yeah, Oru is really shit. Why would you play him over other heroes?" Whereas like some of us are like, "Well, his damage and his stun is ridiculously useful." Slow, like he's just really good utility and damage. Really nice. I'm really happy. I like him. So I'm way too aggressive with him, with the fact that he has no escape.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I think that's one of the biggest complaining points that people have, because he has no mobility tool. Yeah. So he really focuses on like correct positioning and like being really efficient in your damage, instead of having that like get out of jail free card that some heroes have.
Yeah.
In the form of their mobility tool. So I personally think having more heroes that are less reliant on their mobility tools is pretty good.
It's nice. You have to be a bit careful, because like especially with how Wu is right now, like I think the one thing that everyone pretty much considers is like Wu is a hard counter to Ori. Like if Wu pulls Ori can't really do much.
Yeah.
Like he might be able to dodge a skill here and there, but then his stamina, depending on his stamina, he has to try and just run out, and Wu will keep up with you. You try and run.
So let's kind of cycle through all his abilities. I haven't played him myself personally. I've messed around a little bit with all his upgrades in the practice tool, but that's about it. Also, didn't get too many games against him. I played a bit though.
I've only played him.
Yeah, you've just fucking ground out some games together with Rox, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to see how viable as a DPS he is. I think, like, if I was to give an overall judgment in terms of like a competitive stance, he kind of fills that second/third DPS role. He will never be the ultimate DPS you would run in a comp. Like, that's always going to be a Charlotte, Beckett, or HK, honestly, at the moment.
Yeah.
But I feel if you're going to compare him to DPSs, you have to compare him to Voden and Mozu, because that, I feel, is going to be the role that he's going to kind of slot into. Like, Mozu's there with the pull or the deflect and the slow. Like, Mozu's there for that. You got Voden for the super jump or the heals and cleanse. With long range damage, like, that's kind of what he's competing with there. I think if you take Ori support wise, he's kind of competing with Xeno, but Xeno does the job better, especially with one of the changes that happened to her today or in the patch. So it's going to be interesting. Ori definitely has some good synergy with like Paco, Ori. Like, basically, like, you either pull to Ori and then Ori slows them, or you stun, slow to let Ori get into position to do a ton of damage or set up a stun.
Yeah. So what is the thing that you think that makes Ori good right now? Like,
utility, honestly.
But what kind of specific combos, what kind of specific abilities make Ori really useful right now?
Well, I've been, obviously with the DPS focus, I've been running this kind of like burst combo with Ace in the Hole on the Joker Q ability. Basically that ability makes the trap instant and does 300 flat damage. Obviously armor can negate some of that damage, etc. But it's basically a free 300 damage whenever you want it when it's off cooldown. Which can lead to some silly things with the LMB, RMB, like RMB with Ace of Swords for the bleeding, and then Judgment with like Judge, Jury, and Short Sentence. You can basically get like 1,000+ damage in like a second or two.
Yeah.
Which is a bit crazy.
Yeah, so I think what I noticed from Ori is that he's more of a like a rotational burst DPS instead of like this really consistent damage output.
You can do consistent damage with Ori. Like, if you go Judge, Jury, Short Sentence, and spread an Ace of Swords, you're basically halving the cooldown of Beast with the LMBs, providing you're hitting all the LMBs.
Yeah.
The LMBs is a bit weird. I'm also like trying to figure out whether Expert Shuffler is actually worth it on Ori.
Oh, that's the attack speed increase, right?
Yeah, the attack speed. Well, it just says 50% faster, so it feels like the attack speed, but it could also be the actual movement of the card as well. But I feel you don't get the burn tick if you take that unless you're shooting at full range. So you kind of get in this weird situation where you could be negating some damage with that upgrade. And then it also, like, I feel you don't, like, now that I've played without it, I feel you don't need it, and you can potentially go Easy Strider on the opposite pass, just so you can move around more, because you're 10% faster and you use less stamina while sprinting, so it's like, oh, now I can actually get away. Or you could even go Pure Escapism to get the debuff removal.
Yeah. Because I think, like, a hero like Oru really benefits from that extra movement speed and like lower stamina consumption, especially because he has no escaping ability. So he's a little bit more mobile and a little bit more free in his movement, so that he doesn't get punished as easy.
Like, you just have to look at Voden. Like, Voden with all his movement speed upgrades just becomes a nightmare to fucking aim at. His super jump really helps him with that, but like, I feel Easy Strider on Oru could be the way to go long term, especially at high level.
Yeah. So we kind of mentioned a couple of like hero synergies and shit. What do you think about that? So I was playing Wu with Rox in a couple of games today, and I think like the Wu Oru synergy is really good. So I think just any hero with follow-up CC is just really good, because Oru has a that stun application is pretty consistent and pretty easy to do. So I feel like any hero that can follow up on that, maybe like a Margrave, like a Wu, or any of that, or a Baka, as you said, like really synergizes well with that.
Yeah, like I feel the way the stun or the E works, it works exactly like Zenobia's focus. So like, providing you've placed it on top of them, it doesn't matter if they walk out, it's still gonna hit. Which is a bit questionable, but at least it feels good to use because of that. I see a lot of arguments in Cosmic Power on the E of whether the armor break or the stun is actually better.
Yeah.
I generally lead to the stun because I feel a stun is better than a daze. Just because the daze, yes, it denies abilities and dodges, but you can still kind of move away and sprint. Whereas the stun is completely removing your mobility.
Yeah. And I believe that that path with the stunner also has the curse on it, right? What do you think about that?
Yes, it has the curse is a very interesting effect at the moment.
Yeah, in general.
Because it denies and removes a lot of things that you wouldn't really think about. Like, you can completely deny Zandora focus with it. You can remove Guardian wounds with it. You can remove HK shields with it. You can deny super jumps with it. Like anything. Yeah. I don't know. This one's one I want to test, but I wouldn't be surprised if Trip doesn't have the power surge buff. I wouldn't be surprised if Curse stops her getting it.
Probably.
Because it sounds like it's classed as a buff, which Curse would block. But I don't know how it's like coded, so it's really hard to tell.
Yeah. Like, from a logical standpoint, that kind of would fit.
Yeah. But like another major point is like it removes stealth. So in terms of Trip, if you've hit that on her, and remember, if you've landed it and she's in it and she teleports out, it's still going to hit her. So it means that stealth is just going to be instantly removed and your team can find her.
Yeah.
Of course, in like higher level play, this isn't as needed because most high level players will be able to track her in the stealth, but it's definitely useful in pubs when newer players can't really track her anymore at the moment in her stealth. So
yeah, so I think the thing with Curse is that it's a debuff that is kind of slept upon by the community right now. I don't think it's really used efficiently at the moment.
Last patch with Ramsey, when Ramsey has Curse as well, that's when Rox was really messing around with Curse and really like pointing out to us in Mad like what Curse actually does, which is why a lot of us, especially in massive damage, like are very like this Curse could actually be legit worth running.
Because you have to think about it like this. I think was it you who sketched this scenario? I believe if you get the 0.5 second stun in like an AoE with the Curse, you can potentially curse a ton of people and prevent them from gaining shields. And like a ton of different effects that would help them get out of that combo, so you can follow it up really easily and like murder people.
Pretty much.
Like that.
Like Oru, I feel Oru really turns on at level 5 if you go the Pierce RMB. Because like you can legit say you have a Margrave, if that Margrave gets like a free 4-man stun, Oru can just RMB into it, stun everyone else on top of it and curse them. And then that's just won the fight. Or Paco Snowball hits multiple people, or like anything that does that. Maybe like another thing I've been noticing as well is Oru's mobility and getting out is really awkward and really bad, especially when pulled by Wu. But it also, especially in pubs, it probably won't be as much in competitive, but in pubs, a lot of people dive onto the Ori, which sets up these team fights like you don't really expect. Because I know, like, today when I was playing against Ardre, there was a couple of moments where Ardre pulled me, and my team literally just jumped on them and got, like, 2-3 kills from me. Like, I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because especially if you go the instant traps, Wu can CC you to death, but you do have, like, the odd second window here and there, where you can legit just place the traps on the floor, and if they're all jumping on you, you're hitting 3 people for 300 damage.
That's pretty good. It's quite a bit of damage. So it's big chunks. big chunks. But yeah, generally, like, NA people seems to be really skeptical about Oru still. We'll see. Like, I'm really curious to see. I think we're definitely gonna play him.
Yeah. I think there's
in
gonna be a lot of teams. Like, I think
soon.
Apex is probably gonna try him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every team will try Ori,
Mhm.
but like, it's a weird one. Like, a lot of people, I think in competitive, I think Ori will stand out more, and will especially stand out more when bans and mirror picks, like mirror picks are turned off and bans are on. I feel when that situation arises, Ori will shine a lot more.
Yeah.
Because if you want to run Ori, you can ban Wu,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ori is just instantly open and more viable.
Yeah.
And it's like tons of, or if there's mirror picks, if you first picked Wu, you can then pick Ori because Wu is on your team, like, which
Yes.
then subs the synergy stuff as well. So
Yeah, so far I think EU is a little more open to what Oru can and can do. Like in general, this is like a super blanket statement because there are some very vocal people from North America that really do not like Oru. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he performs on the competitive because that's like the ultimate test, right? For heroes, like how do they perform right now? So I think that's it on Oru. For now, do you have anything still, or shall we move on?
no, I think that's pretty much it. I can't really see anything we've released, but like, I guess the odd thing we haven't really mentioned is like the R&B. Well, you've got the push and the cripple, which can become a bit dangerous if you get the extended card duration.
Yeah,
But it's just minor things really that needs testing and playing around with.
It's a little too fast to call because he's only been out for like 2 days, so
Yeah.
it'll take people some time. We'll see how that turns out. So let's see. Then creatures got some changes.
Yeah.
Much requested changes, or at least so. I made a very vocal fucking video on it. People received that video really well because I basically complained about the instant summoning and how it was pretty taking away some strategic depth. So Murtiga listened to us and gave us a halfway solution as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So let's go over it. So we got like a 3-second summon cast. It's much shorter than it was.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern I have for the change, the 3-second summon cast.
Dude, right.
It makes the start of the game really fucking annoying.
Yeah, alright. We'll go over that after we list all the changes. Then we got 3 seconds spawn timer for baby creatures, and 20 for adults. So upgrading actually takes time again.
And that's 20 seconds across all creatures.
Across all creatures. So first up, I do agree with the fact that they make the upgrading time like universal.
Yeah.
I think that's a good change because I think that was a source for a lot of confusion for players.
Definitely.
I do think that the not being able to make the summon faster by stand on the circle is kind of iffy.
I like it personally because it means you can't do the like really cheese tactics where you just 5-stack creatures and instantly have it. Just because like that becomes a major factor, especially like because this is me thinking competitive wise. If the stacking still worked, you could legit wait until the orb is spawning on C on Ghost Reef when it's about to be the push, and just stack an adult to spawn. At least with the 20 seconds, it gives the other team to realize, okay, we have 20 seconds before that adult spawns. The orb will spawn roughly around the same time. Do we commit to this? Do we do our own? What do we do? So
yeah, I guess. But on the other hand, like I think that was another point that was really unclear to a lot of people. That you could make the summon faster. I think that's why it's removed, mostly just for communication purposes.
It makes it consistent, yeah.
But I do think that it's a mechanic that is familiar to people in terms of like the control points in other games, in like Call of Duty and Battlefield and shit. I think it's a familiar mechanic that just needed to be.
I feel they could add that mechanic back. I just feel if they add it back, they need to like increase the adult spawn time for it.
Yeah, yeah, alright. Obviously, it needs to be compensated, but I'm okay with this solution.
Yeah.
I'm like fine with it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not actually sure if I would prefer the other, um,
Yeah, I
like
don't know which one I'd prefer, honestly.
the stacking system. We'll see, because again, like we only had 2 days to find this out.
Yeah.
So thank you for the follow. I didn't think of turning my alerts off. Excuse me, but thanks. Welcome.
Like, at the moment, like, in pub games, that 20 seconds doesn't seem to be doing much. Just because of, like, pubs are not ridiculously organized or anything. I think when competitive is slowly kicking off this week. Like, NA is already going ham from last week.
Yeah.
EU starts this weekend. Like, I feel that's when we're gonna really see how effective that 20 seconds is. In terms of decision making and windows. It's nice to have a window though where you could legit do something.
Yeah, so let me get into why I think this is kind of a halfway solution. Because a couple, like 2 patches ago, they reduced like the creature health. And they brought it back a little bit from then. But so what they basically did with this patch is increase the summoning penalties, the penalties for upgrading, without actually increasing the reward. And while upgrading was already kind of iffy because of the power imbalances, because you only gain 10 for like a baby creature and then 20 power, you lose 20 power for an adult. Having to summon the adult basically without it being slightly stronger or without it having a larger payoff is kind of meh. So the thing that we've been expecting to see is kind of people won't upgrade as much. In general, like upgrading adult creatures is kind of not worth it most of the time. I think only really strategic.
It's the main argument for upgrading is orb collecting, basically.
Pretty much. So I guess we'll see like really strategic timing of upgrades just to win out on like an orb rotation.
I think the other type of summon upgrades would be the clash rotation. Because if you like say Sanctum B, I ideally before clash like it being a sub to see if people are flanking and stuff like that. However, in clash I'd prefer it to be a Cyclops.
Yeah.
Because it puts the wall on the staircase. So I feel that would be another use of adults.
Yeah, definitely. Saving creature when it's low, like healing it up. It's not as good as last patch.
Yeah.
Because last patch it was like, oh shit, a creature's low, let's just instant heal it, full heal it again, even while in combat sometimes. That was kind of stupid. But yeah, I guess that'll happen less. I'm expecting.
But I feel the only use of that at the moment is if the other team has lost the fight and they're just trying to pick up the creature to win, like to get something from that fight. Like, because I feel if they're pushing the creature and you summon an adult, there's 20 seconds before that adult actually comes online.
Yeah.
So you're basically removing whatever that creature was.
It's probably much better to just let it die and resummon the baby. In that case, because that'll lower the risk of you losing the 20 power adult when it's summoning. So we're not sure. It's that risk reward analysis that we have to figure out over the coming weeks on this patch, basically. So that's that. Yeti got some nerfs. Frostfield, or mostly the baby Yeti, right? I think the baby Yeti got all the nerfs.
The baby literally just got the ice field removed completely, which is a huge nerf to it. Basically makes it the same as a standard Cyclops baby.
I don't really have a problem with that because I thought like just for having like a different creature equipped, you got like a stronger baby. It's kind of weird. So
I think the Yeti change with the one frost field and it's at the wall location, I don't know, like I need to see Yetis on different points. Like obviously we can't really just go summon them on points, which is really fucking irritating. Like Matuga, please.
Yeah.
But like I was looking at the ice. If the ice field is exactly how it was on Sanctum B at the staircase, oh my god, that is a huge nerf. Because literally on the staircase, the ice field is under the wall, which is useless. Why would anyone ever walk on there, really? Like if you're going into there, you're going to stand on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and if not, you're going to be standing on the staircase. You're not going to be touched by the ice field. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think that ice field position is horrible. And if the other ones are exactly like that on top, like underneath the wall directly, it's just like, yeah, no, fuck off. That's shit.
Yeah. So Buffy brings up a point. Riftborn Cyclops. Does it have a name? Riftborn? I'm not actually sure. Like they tease like a new Cyclops on the store page.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell because its theme and color scheme is like no other creature. So
Yeah.
it's not like we can like reference off something to
No.
try and predict what it is.
So one of my things is like kind of a swamp theme or something. That's kind of my feel.
Yeah.
But the Riftborn makes it. If the name is actually Riftborn Cyclops, it might be some like magic shit. Maybe it does like magic walls, or the wall have some sort of other property.
Yeah.
Instead of like the others. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure. It's hard to
If
call.
that is the name, then that would be it. Like looking at the theme, like if I was to do it from just looking at it, I'd say it'd have a poison theme, like
Yeah.
poisoning
Maybe.
in the area. But there's not enough information for it really.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to see a creature coming.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see Murtiga play with like different types of walls that have different properties. Because the walls don't really change between Cyclopses.
Nope.
It's just like a visual effect, but it's definitely some unexplored potential with that. So I'm curious to see what they come up with. But yeah, it's hard to call from just like a single picture, I'd say.
Definitely.
And then roll the drums, custom games, woo!
Oh yeah.
We
I
did
was
it.
so fucking confused. Wait, what are we drum rolling?
What are we drum rolling? We're drum rolling custom games. Hell yeah, we're back. Oh yeah, finally! We're so excited for this one.
Yes.
Obviously, as far as we know, they work.
Yeah.
They are really bare bones, but I wasn't expecting anything else. So they're basically
They give you exactly what you need, honestly.
yeah, that's exactly what we need. Like you need to have 2 parties of 5. You can't do like 2v2 yet or something. I think that'll come with like later iterations because it's only like the
Most
first
likely,
version.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. On the other hand, it seems pretty easy to do. Like you just give a code to the enemy team, they fill in the code,
basically.
and you match up.
Yeah.
I believe it's like a small wait of like a couple seconds, and then you get into hero select. So
Yeah, and you've got map picking as well. So...
yeah, I think that's a really big one. So map picking was actually, I was not expecting map picks, to be honest. I was like,
I wasn't expecting, but I was hoping they would include
yeah,
it.
because what map picks do is they make drafting possible.
Yeah.
Starting now with mirror picks, probably like without mirror picks, kind of crazy at the moment. But they
Drafting and bans definitely are viable now with the custom
Yeah.
games and map picks.
yeah. So that's really fun. I believe like the guys at Apex have a gigantic drafter.
There is some
they have a
sort of
drafting
drafter
tool.
about, yeah.
And they have a drafting tool that we could use for potential events, because we are looking at some organizing some stuff. GA starting up soon.
Yeah,
as
GA
well.
starting next month, yeah.
So that's kind of good. So what this means is that we're actually going to see competitive kick off again, hopefully, because
yeah.
the way custom games or like scrimming worked just made a huge barrier of entry for like newer teams. Like you had to wait 15 minutes. Like we couldn't even scrim people because
God,
the
that was
MMR
horrible.
differences were just so fucking huge that we wouldn't even match up against people. But yeah, drafting with mirror heroes probably.
Most likely until a few more heroes get added.
Mm-hmm.
I just like if both teams want to do no mirror picks, you could do it. I just feel the cast needs to be slightly bigger. It's like we're on like 2021 at the moment, heroes.
Yeah, probably something like that.
But I think we need to hit like 25, 30 before we can really consider mirror heroes being removed.
Yeah, I think 30 is like a absolute minimum actually. I think that's what like League of Legends and stuff started with.
Because else it's just going to be, oh, you ban this hero and this hero. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's, for example, if they ban if Beckett and HK get banned or something, that you just have like
you have
useless.
to first pick Charnok.
Yeah, you have to first pick Charnok.
Banned. Like
yeah, for example. So just the long range pool, the hero pools for different roles are just not large enough. Like if you want to play like if you have constructed like a super engage heavy comp and someone bans Margrave, you're fucked. Like there's no alternative to Margrave at this point. There's no one that can follow up or like engage just as Margrave can. That's kind of the different thing.
But you can basically like also always block out assassins as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess with the patch notes, they kind of brought all the assassins in line, so maybe not as bad as I'm thinking. But yeah. I guess another note of custom games is cross-region scrims and games are possible.
Hell yeah.
So NA and EU teams can play against each other. That is possible.
Yeah, so the way this works is basically the captain of the party that hosts the custom match decides which server you play on.
Yes.
So, for example, if a full EU team would host the custom games, they would like play on the EU servers, and otherwise, the thing with this is that previously you had to get someone from the other region in your party to play on the other server. So it was basically impossible to play play scrims with your full team against another team.
Yeah,
so,
basically one of the teams had to sacrifice their full lineup just to get the scrim working,
which is not optimal.
Pretty much.
So of course playing on like high ping is not optimal as well, but at least we can like switch around servers now to make it kind of fair to balance it out. So that's exciting. So we kind of we're probably getting some show matches, some Mad versus Apex show matches.
Yeah.
Which should be very fucking exciting. I can't wait to fucking go analyze those games if they're any interesting at all. We'll see. I can't wait to see that.
I need to sort these out, but
yeah,
I think we start planning stuff like that next week.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited for this.
We need to actually test if the custom games work.
Yeah, as far as I know, they do. But yeah, that's very fucking exciting. So NA scrims started last week already, like before the custom games. They're continuing on to this week. I think maybe tomorrow there's some more, maybe today as well.
I know one of the teams were looking for games today.
Mm-hmm.
I think Apex were looking for scrims.
Yeah, I think Wildfire had some scrims scheduled already for today. So maybe we'll get to see some shit.
It's really nice to see NA with like 3 teams that are kind of scrimming each other, like rotational wise.
Actually, 4 actually.
Is it 4 now?
Yeah, they have Aeron, Illus, they have Wildfire and Apex. And Nimbus is around as well, but they haven't scrimmed yet recently.
Nimbus, I don't know what Nimbus is doing at the moment. They're kind of missing in action, so...
Yeah, I think Goken was memeing about having to send his shit to me, so I think they're still around, but they're not really active at the moment.
That's fair enough.
So the exciting news is that we also have an EU team forming again.
Yes.
Aura is still somewhat about, like some members of Aura, so maybe we'll see some remnant of Oracle like rise up again soon-ish. But at least we have scrims this weekend.
Yeah, a new EU team. It'll be interesting to see how they are and how they develop.
And I get to play. Whoa, it's been a while.
Yeah, you get to play this week.
Yeah, I think I haven't played in a scrim since I fat my ass off on Margrave.
Well, don't worry. I don't think anyone in Massive Damage has played for like 2 months. So.
Yeah, so that's awesome. That's awesome. That game was so fucking embarrassing. But oh well, so that's super excited, super stoked for that as well. Like EU scrims happening again.
Yes.
Huh. All right. So we're already going for half an hour, so that's pretty good, and we're only just starting on the hero balance. What's that? So first up, let's say that we're slightly disappointed in the amount of hero balance this patch.
Yeah. Motique is really fucking dropping the ball. Like,
like I kind of believe that in this case is like you need to be more experimental with your balances because the game just launched. Like you need. Like, if possible, you need even more patches, to be honest. Kind of like games that just released usually patch like once every week or once every 2 weeks. So once every month is kind of slow. So but we know they have like the certification shit with Microsoft for the Xbox and Windows 10 client that kind of complicate the business because that takes like half a week to get done.
A week to a week or something.
So yeah, it's kind of impossible to patch every week because the delay is a week for certification. But I would like to see more balance changes in general.
Definitely. Like if we're gonna have if it's gonna end up being one patch a month, we need a lot more than what we got this month in terms of hero changes.
And maybe they're kind of scared to do that because people are stuck with certain changes for a month after that, pretty much. So they can't go too crazy. But I would like to see some tuning. So let's start from the top with like the Charnock changes. 3 times got buffed a little bit. Still a shit upgrade.
It's a weird one. Like 3 times LMB got a damage buff. I can't remember exactly how much. I think it was like 30-40 damage buff. But like I was messing around with it and testing the damage on like the Motigans in the practice arena. The for the bigger AoE, it just kind of makes the damage equal with burn, if not like slightly less. Which is just like, well, why would I take that? Because you got the extra charge time to take into consideration.
Yeah, and
it's like
Bombastic got buffed. I guess.
Yeah.
Because you can maintain the damage buff now with people you hit in the AoE.
Like, the issue I have with Bombastic is the penalty is too fucking harsh. It's like, if you miss a shot, you've lost your full buff. Like, it should go back in stages. It shouldn't be like, oh, you hit 3 shots, you're at full damage, but then you miss that 4th shot, so now you have to do it again. It's just like, what the fuck?
So I think it takes like it's so long to charge it up.
And the fucking AoE is not that fucking large. Like, it's not like you get the AoE.
Yeah. It's kind of an awkward upgrade. Bring back Days Charnock, boys. Bring it back.
Days was fucking useful.
Yeah, Days was pretty useful. It was really annoying to deal with, though.
It's just because it was fucking 3 seconds long. Like,
yeah.
Like, the whole issue with Days was how long it was. If you just make it 0.5 second days, you're fine.
Yeah, but the thing with that upgrade was, like, they had it in for 1 patch. Like, didn't even try to change it. And then they removed it. They, like, straight up removed it again. It was so weird. So
it's like,
weird.
So many fucking people have fucking 1 second dazes. Like, HK can get it, Ori has it by fucking default. Like, what's wrong with it? Like, the main, like, honestly, the main reason it was so fucking bad was you can charge it, like, the time the days wore off, Charnock could have charged another one, which made the creature cheesing fucking ridiculous. And also the, like, if I remember right back then, the Make It Rain Fire on the jump, like, was still up to 3 times, so you could literally. I don't
think that was the case.
Was that not the case? Okay.
I don't think so. Make It Rain Fire was changed like quite a while ago.
Yeah, like, I remember they were both a while ago, so I thought it was around the same time. I thought that change happened because of the days or something like that. So
there was a period where everyone. I'm not even sure if this was on live. This might have been like on core even. Like, I don't remember, but there was a period where Charnock was super dominant as a pick before the days, and that was because Make It Rain Fire. Then that was changed. Then Make It Rain Fire was
did days. Like, every shot days.
Oh really?
Onto rocks. So.
Oh, then my timeline's off. Oh
yeah.
Oh, well.
That's back, by the way. The fucking Make It Rain with faster casting makes 3 times happen on Make It Rain. It's fucking retarded.
But that's a bug, right?
It's a bug. It has to be a bug because it's still a charge meter.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the best part is that still doesn't make 3 times viable. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How bad is that path?
Because then you pretty much just have to use your escape just to have good DPS, basically.
Well, I do that all the fucking time with the burn build, and I still get more damage output with it. Like...
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Nice. Right, pretty good. So, yeah. If each other changes, not really do much. Actually, Blast Off upgrade no longer pushes enemies. Kind of a big deal.
Well, no, it does push back because by default, Charnock's jump does push back. It originally used to be damage plus a stronger pushback. Yeah. They basically moved that extra pushback onto the old, like, leave a fire field path, and got rid of the fire field, which
Oh,
Making
like
rain
that.
fire is just superior in every way, so you wouldn't generally take it.
Yeah.
Unless you want to play ridiculously defensive with blast off, but if you're playing ridiculously defensive, you take dive bomb.
Yeah. All right.
So it's just a weird change that I like. Okay, fine, you're nerfing Make It Rain Fire indirectly with that change, but I don't think that actually matters.
Yeah. I like dive bomb as an upgrade. Maybe it's is it gonna be picked more now? You think so?
Well, I think it depends. The thing with blast off versus dive bomb, it comes down to your playstyle completely. If you're more ability focused with like meteor R&B and like just spamming LMBs, dive bomb is more beneficial to you because you can get the extra burn damage stuff. There is a burn build where you can dive bomb in with the cooldown reset and dive bomb out, which is a weird one. But I just feel if you want to go for the proper burst finish off Charnock build, you go Make It Rain Fire.
Yeah. Like I've fond memories of dive bomb as an upgrade because I remember like diving into 4 people and focusing them all. That's kind of really fun if you go like super YOLO with the upgrade.
Yeah, it's like one of the things that's making my Charnock build really fucking annoying to write. Is like both paths are really good. You can't really argue both. It just comes down to playstyle, so getting that written up is really annoying. It's the same with the E as well. Both paths are good. It's like,
Right, next up, Knossos. Knossos got hit hard.
You say that. No, you didn't.
Did it?
No. Well,
in the numbers at least.
In numbers, he's been hit, but honestly,
that's what I thought.
Like, the Bull Rush speed nerf is the major nerf, basically. It's like 66 to 33 or something like that.
66 to 25.
Okay, so like, it's a major debuff, but I feel with Knossos, the fact that you're getting that 25 speed buff is enough.
Yeah.
You're also faster.
You're also getting it on your entire team. Because nobody picks the other path, pretty much.
Yeah, like, all it kind of does is make the health path a bit more viable.
Yeah.
That's pretty much its use.
But I think losing the speed buff is just so bad for just Knossos in general.
Knossos needs a way to get in, and that speed buff is his way of doing it.
Yeah. So basically the skewer attack, like the bleed LMV got slightly
pierce,
got slightly nerfed by adding a stamina cost to it.
It added a 10 stamina cost to use, which honestly, once you've applied it, which is going to be at the very start of a fight, so your first 10 stamina is probably going to be from that LMB.
Yeah.
So it's not really going to harm you, especially if you can consistently LMB them. So I don't really see it being a huge, like, anything that's going to change bleed build.
Yeah, and they nerfed on the tier 2 upgrade on that. They nerfed the bleed, but they made it refreshable with things. So I think just nerfing the bleed probably goes a long way there, but just making it more consistent. Because like the numbers were definitely too high in the bleed.
Definitely.
So like taking that down but making it more consistently applied is kind of, I think, fairer, while not really like hampering Knossos too much.
Yeah, it doesn't gut Knossos to hell, but it doesn't screw over assassins constantly or DPSs. So
yeah, 60 tick instead of 100 is kind of it's a big deal. It's a lot of damage you lose though. Yeah, next up, Taito.
Taito is a buff.
Interesting changes. You didn't even include Ramsey.
No, I didn't, because all of it is just fucking like, it's like Talon got a damage buff.
No, you didn't even include like Ramsey. We're like scrolling over Ramsey now.
Well,
Ramsey got like a slew of changes.
Well, he has a ton of changes, but I've rarely heard much about him. Like, I think I've heard Rox say like one thing about Ramsey in the past 2 days. So I honestly, like, as much as Ramsey has enough change, I honestly don't know enough about Ramsey to really say anything.
Yeah, so
about these changes.
It is interesting to note that I think the biggest change is they slightly nerfed the curse path by increasing its cooldown. I'm not sure how relevant that is, but it slightly makes it less. It makes it less like applicable because Ramsey was dealing like a lot of damage with those bleeds, so making that slightly less accessible is okay, I guess. But the thing that's interesting to note and that we do know is that they changed the big deflect bubble upgrade into a hit reaction immunity on Q, and that's not noted in the patch notes. So that's kind of interesting. Rox was liking it so far, as long as you're not standing in a trip.
Basically.
It's just melting you, but you basically can tank a lot of abilities. You're practically invulnerable instead of to melees and ground damage. So that's kind of nice to see people do other changes. Let me just like quickly skim through it. Rush like slightly increased cooldown with the bouncing around upgrade. Sure, it's fine.
Yeah.
And base damage of Flurry by 40% increase.
That sounds a lot, but honestly, I don't know if that's really actually going to be impactful.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. Like, I don't play too much Ramsey. I don't see many Ramseys, actually.
He never concerned me apart from it applying poison on Curse. That's the only real thing. And then the bubble. Like, they were the things I noticed of it. I never noticed damage on it at all. Maybe I'll notice damage now. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe we will.
I don't understand the focus change. Like, it just seems so weird.
Yeah, kinda. Like, I do see why they would increase the animation speed, because that was slow as fuck and super annoying as a Ramsey player, because you could just never use your focus when you were slightly low, because you would just die without your focus going off. So I'm not sure how that is now. It seems quite fast, but the lingering cloud, like the time the cloud lingers, got reduced by 3 seconds, which I think is halves about the duration.
Yeah, like, it feels like they've just completely gutted the focus. Okay, you get it out more, but it's not really doing anything. Like, I never really noticed the actual focus ever whenever I played against him last patch. The only annoyance of it is whenever I saw him do it, I knew I had to apply some sort of dot or a field on the floor so that I could track anyone who's in there. That's it. And it's more of a nuisance rather than actually being impactful. Especially because whenever someone, like, if like your team's Ramsey goes and does it, everyone on his team will be attacking in it anyway, so therefore they're visible.
Yep, most likely. Then we get to Dido. So we get increased base damage of Talon by 5 damage per hit. Whatever. Sure.
It's a weird one, but it's still a buff.
Yeah, it's still a buff. Slightly reduced the ability to spam jump attacks. Sure,
that
fine.
That happened on a lot of heroes, like Margrave also had that change.
Definitely. And decrease hidden Talon dash damage, or dash distance, sorry, not
distance,
damage. And that's because they brought back animation cancelling.
Yeah, you can...
Or
you can only
do dodge cancel, or whatever,
you can,
whatever it's
like,
called.
You can like catapult off with Blade Dance again. You can also do it with Sweep, but apparently it's not as effective. Which is fair enough. Nice that it's back, a bit more mobility.
Yeah, so... And I believe Larson made a video on this, and like Swoop is easier to use after certain combos.
Yeah.
So it kind of...
saying, like, apparently Fang into Swoop is a lot more consistent now. Which is nice to hear. Yeah,
so basically it just makes Tidal more usable, less clunky. I think that's the general gist. So overall, I would say Tidal got buffed, maybe slightly. It's probably not a huge change, but it probably makes him more playable.
You say it's not a huge change. I honestly feel it is. Considering last patch, Taito was never really played because you couldn't play him. Like, he was really horrible. But like, from what Ardre was saying, like, this patch compared to last patch, Taito feels actually viable again. And you could actually run him, which is really nice to hear that Taito is now like usable, especially for competitive stance. Because if we start doing the single ban stuff, Trip is going to be up top of that fucking list, and Wu is going to be up there as well.
Yeah.
So you need something just in case.
Definitely. But yeah, it seems to be a really large feel thing for people that play the hero a lot. That seems to be the general gist of it. Let's see. Uncle Sven, armor reduced, not really too much here.
Yeah. Yeah,
let's just
I like
scroll
the
through.
focus change where the days was removed because it seemed really pointless, which it was. Why would you be days when you're a snail?
Yeah. So then after voting, we get like the absence of Trip in the patch notes.
Yeah.
So
it's just nowhere to be fucking seen.
It kind of baffles me because I personally don't think Trip is that overpowered or that strong, but she definitely needs some tuning and some fine tuning on her damage.
This is my opinion on Trip. Trip's balance is not as fucking OP as everyone say. It's OP in the mid to low range. That's where the strength of her lies. The reason we see it a ton in like high level games is because the way matchmaking is balancing. I feel if we had enough high level players playing at the same time, Trip would be a lot more balanced and in line with everything.
Yeah.
The fact that we can't get those types of games, Trip needs something to happen to her, nerf wise or change wise, just to like bring her more in line with everyone else.
Like,
you can't go upwards, which is kind of like if you like from what it's like. Honestly, I'm just gonna fucking say it now. I honestly feel the whole balance team of fucking Motiga is assassin mains. Because this game, every fucking patch cycle feels like the assassins are generally getting, like, apart from Taito, who got gutted for no apparent reason, like, is getting buffed. Trip barely fucking gets changes. Like, and if it's a change, it's generally a positive change. It's like, Wu, this patch that we're going to be going into, is all quality of life to make his fucking stupid CC combo and damage combo much more easier to do. Which is like, why? Like, you just want people to play assassins all the time? Like, they need to really, like, you can't, as developers or like balancers, you can't just look at like Reddit and Discords and things, see everyone complain about Trip, and then do nothing. Like, if you're not gonna balance changer, throw your we're monitoring the stats of Trip at the moment and working out what we want to do with her next patch. You have to throw something in the patch notes. You can't just ignore the fact that she exists. Like,
yeah. I kind of agree. Like, you can just say, hey, we're monitoring Trip, we're monitoring Trip's performance on like different levels of play, like whatever. Make a mention of it.
They have so many fucking cards they could play. Like, we're monitoring stats. We couldn't get the changes done before the Xbox and Windows 10 submission process. Like, we run into a bug when we did the change. Like, they could throw so many reasons, but they just don't. Like, and it's just like, why? People complain all the fucking time about Trip. You can't ignore it.
I think the change to the way Reflect works on Sven's Q is worth mentioning. So if I get this right, so the change says now grants deflection to an ally if they're hit with the initial explosion created by the flask as opposed to just being hit by the flask itself. So if I get this correct, this is either that it only grants deflection to people you hit directly, or how does this work? I don't really understand the wording of this upgrade. Do you see it? Can anyone like elaborate on that? Because I don't really get the wording. Like,
I can't remember if when Sven threw his Q, whether you could just walk onto it to get the deflect. Because I have a feeling it's that they're removing.
That's the fact I'm getting as well. So you have to hit people directly to give them the deflect.
So you have to stack up and do it, basically.
Yeah. So I was never a fan of the deflect upgrade in the first place.
It's the only use I ever really saw of it is against Amanis.
Yeah, but I believe the duration is like 3 seconds or something.
Wow, is that really true, Rox? It only works on one person.
It only works on one person.
God.
Alright, yeah, that's fucking awful. And it doesn't affect Sven.
Okay, that's kind of literally the only use of that then is on creatures, potentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why would you not pick Absorption Matrix instead? Which was kind of the question in the first place. Why would you not go with Absorption Matrix, which is way more consistent, just in terms of healing? So
Oh dear.
I was never a fan of the upgrade, unless in super niche cases and like super ranged heavy compositions. I think the duration was not long enough for it to be really good.
The thing with the fucking deflection, like, especially if you play Charnock or Beckett, you could just AoE and hit them rather than hitting them directly. Okay, it's less damage, but you're still hitting them. Like, there's always ways around.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, then we get into Wu. So we saw the absence of Trip, and then Wu getting quality of life back up, or like Wu getting pretty much above. So they increased the base cooldown of Splash Kick and increased the modified cooldown of Boundless Energy, which is like the retarded mobility upgrade by 1 second as well.
By the way, like, I swear every patch that's getting pushed a second every time.
Yeah, that's good. That got pushed a second by like 2 patches in a row, or like the patch before last one or something like that as well. Because it used to be even less. So I can already say that this is not a relevant nerf, and this is not going to change much.
If they keep the consistency of moving a second, it will only become relevant about 3 months down the line. Like,
yeah.
I feel like.
So then they fixed the bug where you have to wait before you could use the launch with Splash Kick, which is kind of the thing where you had to proc Flowing Fist before using the launch as well, so you can use it immediately, even though you always want to proc Flowing Fist in between all the shit you kind of want to do to get an extra damage. But it makes it way more reliable to like peel really fast. And use it for the actual CC instead of having to proc Flowing Fist and like not get the CC at the exact moment you want it. So I didn't get too many games, but it definitely felt much better to use and much more reliable, as I said. Then they slightly reduced movement speed of Q of crashing waves. Didn't really notice this. Fixed an exploit where dodge could be used to cancel crashing waves. Whatever.
And then like they've buffed the focus.
Increase the max turn when propelled forward.
You can actually aim it a bit more effectively.
I also did not notice that too much, but I will pay attention to that in my coming Wu games. So overall, Wu got buffed pretty significantly as well. And they removed an unintended delay after performing jump attack. So jump attack is way faster. It's actually so much more usable right now. So you can cancel Flowing Fist into jump attacks like easier and not lose much DPS. It's so nice. It feels really good.
Fucking kill me. Oh, I hate like seeing these changes to assassins. Assassins just getting these buffs which don't really seem needed, and then. Well, okay, the quality of life was needed, but they had to fucking deal with the CC combo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then finally Zenobia got some nice changes. Like instead of being in a piercing wave, it just knocks up people in an AoE. As I said pre-show, I really like the pierce, but I think it was like thematically inappropriate of some sort. It kind of felt weird. So I think the AoE is kind of more clear and more intuitive of some sorts. So we'll see how that turns out. I've not heard anyone about that upgrade. It sounds good, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll be.
Like Weaken was super good, or the Pierce was super good before, but we'll see if it's still.
The Pierce was a weird one. Like it was strong. I really liked it. Silly. It was strong, like in like standard. I felt competitive. The knockback was just better. I'm sure NA would hear that and be like, "What the fuck? Do you even play Zenobia?" I feel with this like AoE, it's going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. So some kind of healing reduction. I don't think anyone ever picked that upgrade.
I did for a troll once. Just to survive longer in fights.
That's nice. Yeah, but I don't think that's relevant. Because I think that's the other side to the reef set, right? Or is that the talent? I'm not sure. I'm confusing things.
What,
probably
the healing?
Yeah.
Healing was part of the pass-free talent.
Yeah.
Well,
So
not
that was
talent,
like
but it was like
a tier 2.
yeah, it was tier 2, and it was just like if they grouped and you shot your Q through them, you basically got like 400 heal. It's just like, thank you guys.
What was the alternative? What was the other option on
The other
on the
option
Pierce?
was apply to heavy weaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know. Oh, yeah.
So like both paths are really meh.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, sure. That was Zenobia as well. So generally, like, not enough balance changes, as we said.
Yeah,
I just feel like they should be playing with the balance more. But yeah, maybe there's a risk to that. Like they should like try and change more paths, like fiddle with the balance a little bit.
But I guess something we didn't touch is HK. Like they've tried to deal with the HK.
You're out of focus. Oh,
Fortify.
there we go. Yeah.
Oh, fucking. Okay.
There you go.
This camera. They've tried to deal with the like the fortify full damage at long range stuff, but it's like they've only nerfed it by 15%. Is it? Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Which is fucking nothing. Like at most, Imani might be able to win some duels against HK now, but it's still going to be impacting. It's going to be tight. Like I think it depends on who gets the appeal and whether the HK has the shield or not.
Yeah, and whether or not the HK hits railguns. I think railgun is the real game changer.
Yeah.
Min attack, thanks for falling. Might as well, right? We have the alerts, so might as well.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, definitely. So that's a step in the right direction. Still think.
I feel HK. It's kind of pulled it back in line a little, but I still think HK still needs to look at.
You're still tearing up people from max range. I can attest to that.
Pretty much.
So yeah. Let's see. So I was kind of expecting some more info on the new map dispatch. Mortika kind of stated that it's going to be a couple of months.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I personally think that's really long. I was actually expecting something to be here.
I feel we need something to pull people back.
I was honestly expecting like a new map with like around launch, because that's like the new map is like a super big hype factor, right, for people. So if we only get a hero, it's kind of but if you get a hero and a fucking new map, then you have like an entire new playground to play.
At the moment, it's just consistently every month there's a hero. You need something else to pull people back. Like apparently, like if they're like arguing that they are, it's just like, well, we have you have custom games, competitive can start, yay, yeah, but a lot of people don't give a shit about competitive. You need to work on keeping people in the game. Like competitive, yeah, sure, you gave us customs, but that's not going to appeal to a lot of people looking in. Most people will already look in and go, why the fuck wasn't this on release? Like...
why wasn't this in already? Why did they do this now? But yeah, that's not to say that we're not happy with custom games. Thank you, Motika, please. Don't take it away. Thank you. But yeah, that's kind of the deal. I would have expected some more info.
Like this patch, we honestly should have had a creature or a map with this, honestly, to kind of go, look, we're still doing shit. Here's new content. Like, we're not getting many fucking balance change. What the fuck are they doing in their offices if we're not getting hero balances? Yeah,
we're like not getting progress on like desync issues, on the RAM requirement. I'm not sure.
Like at the moment, looking at this patch, it's kind of telling me that 80% of the fucking Motigans, or like 70 to 80, were focusing on custom lobbies.
Yeah. So I hope now that that's out of the way, I don't think we're gonna get improvements on custom lobbies soon. I think it's gonna remain bare bones for like a long time. I hope they do it. I hope they keep it right now. Busy for Gen Con probably as well. Like, but that's not the engineers. That's not the programmers, right?
It's I think next patch is gonna be it has to be huge next month. If they don't, they're gonna kill their game. I feel.
Yeah, it's not. They're not gonna kill it. It's gonna
it'll
bleed
just
out.
be the very dedicated people who have been here since 2015 staying.
Yeah,
Because they've been here since 2015, basically.
we have to lose. We have shit to lose. We have status to lose. Fame, fucking shit. But yeah, so I hope they come with something big soon. Because custom games definitely really nice. Appreciate it. Because they pretty much did custom games for like a really small part of the community.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an investment that's just for us. Pretty much, that's for a really small amount of people. So I hope now that that's out of the way, they can start focusing on like shit that the people want again. Minitech brings up ranked with elites. I am debating. Wait. I am debating on making a huge fucking rant on comments like that on my own YouTube channel. I could do it right here, but I think people that saying that we need ranked right now are super fucking delusional.
No.
It's not gonna help. It's not gonna do anything for us right now.
It's like, I feel if ranked was released or now, you've split the player base completely.
You split the player base. Matchmaking is already iffy. If they're gonna use the current matchmaking system, they're not gonna overhaul matchmaking system if they release ranked right now, right? They won't have fixed the way matchmaking works. They don't have enough players to fix matchmaking, basically.
Like,
it's
at games like Overwatch and shit didn't have ranked at launch because they wanted to check the player base was there, and make sure the rank system was up, like fully there. Like if you're not, like, if you don't plan the ranked out properly and don't have the player base for it, it's just gonna crash completely.
Yeah,
and it'll just be like the leaderboards right now, full of like 100 fucking Smurfs, like.
And people who've boosted their accounts up by playing bots, because those give you MMR for some fucking reason.
That fucking. Why are bot games affecting matchmaking? Why?
So apparently you actually gain one, if you're above a certain threshold, you gain 1 MMR for a bot game. I think that's a thing.
It also affects the fucking win rates, by the way.
I'm not sure if that's actually...
Yeah, it's been tested.
It's been tested?
Yeah, it works. Yeah. It's not as strong, but it's there. It's like, there. Why?
Yeah, so Mythic, if you were looking for another way to boost your account up to the leaderboards really fast, go play ranked for a fucking day. Or go bots for an entire day. Sorry, we don't have ranked. But go play bots for like a week straight or something, and then just play a couple of pub games, and then you boost yourself up like massively. Oh, dear. So yeah, it's a weird experience. Actually, this is pretty fucked. More incoming. Hey, go ahead, Mythic. Go boost. Go get that 9K. So we can finally spam over 9,000 memes on MMR.
It's fucking stupid. Like they say customs don't affect matchmaking. I'm just waiting for them to actually affect matchmaking.
Time to fucking win trade our way up. Let's go. 0 average medals is bot games only. Yeah, bot games don't get medals. That's it. Like Detective Rocks is on the case, dude. He found the first one. He found it. Fucking Lunami. But oh well. We'll see. Like, leaderboards are gonna just degrade in value like real fast this way.
They have.
It's just gonna. They're just gonna lose all meaning.
Like, I honestly just want Most Eager to get rid of the leaderboards. Honestly, like, they are not giving Gigantic a good view because it's just like everyone who's like been in the game for a while and have actually looked into how the leaderboards work and shit all know that the leaderboard is fucking bullshit. However, every player who comes in and looks at that leaderboard goes, oh, so these people are actually the top people. Okay, cool. Let's follow them. And then like they just follow some feeders because they got boosted up there. It's just like,
yeah, I personally love. I'm too boosted to get up there, but I personally love fucking seeing 7,500 MMR trip players just straight up in feed in games. It's great. It happens so much though.
Just pro tip to anyone who watches this and is starting Gigantic: if someone says they're in the top 100 of the leaderboard, ignore the fuck out of them. They probably shit. Unless they're they have footage of like them playing, like if they're a streamer or if they play competitive, like if they play competitive in scrims and like they're decent and shit, then cool, like they're legit. But it's just like, yeah, like I call myself shit. Like watch me play fucking Oru. Like I fucking int feed on Oru. Like
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, I go positive KD, but I have, like, 15 fucking deaths at the same time, just because I can get, like, 20 to 30 kill.
Yeah, but E-Pain and clickbait stream titles, hell yeah, are they?
It's
Hell
like,
yeah.
There is no fucking top MMR, like, or high skill caps in this. Well, okay, there's a high skill cap, but there's no high skill level, because matchmaking just won't let it. It's like, the high, like,
Yeah.
people like me, Ardre, like Mythic, like everyone who like in the leaderboard, they're playing with and against new players and high level players, which is just that shouldn't happen.
So yeah, that's how we can make the case that there are no high level players in Gigantic right now. Only like middle tier. Because that is two reasons. One, because of the matchmaking, as you said. Like there's no fair matchmaking on like the high level. And there's also no real competitive scene to really elevate the play level as well.
Yeah.
So
there is no meta.
There's no meta.
Game, because there's nowhere to get the meta from.
Yep.
All it is a bunch of people talking in Discords going, "This is what you should do," but then like people will just like go try it and test it and then go, "But no, that's fucking bullshit." Like.
So yeah, the high level Gigantic players, like definitely there are really fucking good Gigantic players out there. That's not to say that, but to speak of high level or like top level Gigantic play is kind of weird, because it's not really apparent.
I'm tempted this week or next week to literally just set my title to top 20 EU player on the washed up shit leaderboards.
Hell yeah!
Like, it's just
tell an A. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, they're gonna be triggered. But that's our job. That's our job. But I think that's like the end of our list so far. Do you have any final comments before we send it off?
Matiga, fucking hero balances, please, or give us like legit content, like to bring people in. Plus, okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, no one really gives a shit about more skins. Oh well. So thanks for watching, everyone. This was the show for today. Thanks. I think. Do I have commands set up for this? I think I set up commands for this.
I guess it would be worth actually mentioning. In terms of the podcast, we're going to watch next week and see what happens competitive wise and news wise. Before we might go to a like every other week type podcast again.
Yeah.
Now that competitive hopefully is starting up, so we legit might actually have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, because we like the initial plan for this podcast was always to be competitive focus.
Competitive died when we started, so we just did an average standard podcast.
Yeah, so we did like the average news update thing, but we especially when we get events in Guardian Arena and stuff, like we can discuss standings, we can discuss like specific games, teams, players more specifically. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be pretty good. We need chests, absolutely. Mortiga, get on it. We need to throw our money against, like, I've still not spent a penny on this fucking game. But yeah.
I have.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. So go ahead and shout out your stuff, Rakychu, and then we can end.
So you can follow me on Twitter at Rakychu as pointed below, or you can find me on Twitch at Rakychu.
Yep.
Yeah, someone stole Rakychu on Twitter, and I'm not happy. But oh well.
So for me, you can follow me right here on this channel on twitch.tv/ or twitter.com/Gaiex. I have a fucking command for this though, because I am fucking narcissistic piece of shit. I only have commands for this, so you can type your stuff there. I believe you can also follow us at Massive Damage GG for team updates, podcast updates, etc. Like scrim updates and etc.
Where's
that
the
is...
Raki command? Andre has a Raki
Yeah,
command.
actually, I'm gonna set this up. Don't worry. Eventually, I'll get to it.
I can't believe I have a command on Andre's stream.
Alright, so then we get to commands on a rather stream. So he has like a team command. So I was like, and that lists like all the members of Massive Damage, and I'm not in there. So I had like a really big feels bad moment. But then I thought about, I have my own command on Arader's team. So Arader just listed the starters. I'm fine with that. You're Gucci. I am not going to come and murder you in your sleep yet.
Andre never even noticed. I noticed, but I didn't say anything. It was just like, I wonder how long it takes.
It was pretty fun. But yeah, go follow our Twitter as well for more updates and more stuff on our upcoming scrims this weekend, this Sunday, 7 p.m. CST. We scrim Absolute Rising, which is the new EU team, and we'll see how they hold up. I'm actually playing, so you have a chance.
I'm gonna be drunk.
Yes. All right, guys. See you next time. We'll post when the next podcast is.
Yes.
Goodbye.